सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Sairam everyone. So we'll continue where we left off in Anuvaka. We have covered 10 mantras, and there are 3 more Yaju mantras left in the second Anuvaka. We will look at them today and the Dhyana Shloka. I'll just read the mantra. Namo Bhuvantaye Varivaskritha Yaushadhinam Pataye Namaha. Namo Bhuvantaye Varivaskritha Yaushadhinam Pataye Namaha. Namo Bhuvantaye Varivaskrita Yaushadhinam Pataye Namaha. We look at the meanings. Namaha is salutation. The next word is Bhuvantaye. Okay, Bhuvantaye is, as I had mentioned, because all the Nama salutations come with the 4th vibhakti of a noun, and in this case, the Bhuvantaye is to Bhuvantihi. To Bhuvantihi. Just to highlight the pronunciation aspect, the Bhu actually is the 4th letter in the Pa Varga, so it has to be aspirated. So Bhuvantaye. It's the same Bhuva which comes in the Gayatri mantra. Bhuva. Okay, so the second word in the Vyahriti is as it's called. So that Bhu is the 4th letter in the Pa Varga which has to be aspirated. Then the Sh is Sa sound made with the tongue pointing upwards. Okay, Sh. And Dhi. Dhi again is the 4th letter in the Ta Varga, so it has to be aspirated. Okay, Dhi. Shadhi. Aushadhi. Okay. So let's look at the, so continue with Bhuvanti. Bhuva, see Bhu, Bhuva. So the meaning which the Bhashya Karakas have given, people who have commented, okay, have used is one who creates. Bhuva is something to be created. One who creates is Bhuvantihi, okay, who sustains the universe also. So you can say Bhu is creation and Bhuva is also sustenance. So from that aspect also they have said one who sustains. So basically one who is sustaining this world, who has created and sustaining this world, is Bhuvantihi. And so Bhuvantihi, and to that Bhuvantihi means Bhuvantaye Namaha. So we are recognizing or reminding ourselves that God is the one who has created this entire world, who is sustaining us also, and that is Rudra. Okay. The next word is Varivaskritaya. Okay, Varivaskritaya. Varivaskritaya again is the 4th vibhakti, so it means to Varivaskritah. to Varivaskritaha. Varivaskritaha. Varivaskritaha means krita means one who does. Okay. Varivas means wealth. I think you know the word vastu also. Vas means that which is present, that is whatever is present, It can also mean riches and all that. So Varivaskrita means all the wealth in this world is actually created, made to come into being by this Rudra. So Varivaskrita. Vari also means water and things like that also. There are multiple meanings, but I think for our purposes, we can say Varivas means it's all this wealth. Okay, and the Lord is the one who enriches. So he creates this world, and to sustain us, he populates with all the riches in the world. Even food, everything is rich actually. So he's the one who makes it all available. Then we are going to the next word, Oshadhinam. Okay, virus, but both together becomes Varivaskrita Aushadhinam. Aushadha is also sometimes referred to as medicine, but Oshadhinam is of Oshadayaha. Okay, Oshadaya is plural. Okay, herbs. Okay, Oshadhinam, Oshadayaha, of Oshadayaha. Oshadaya means herbs, medicines, and so on. Pataye, the Lord. So Varivas can also mean, from that sense, so God has created this world. What is the real wealth He has given? All the trees, everything is also created by God. Because that is the wealth from which, if we are eating food, all food comes from the plants. Among the plants, there is actually herbs come. Okay. So you can see that is the best of creation is herbs, which are medicines, which cures all diseases. Okay, so not only God has given all the things which will nourish us and sustain us, whenever, if at all we become diseased, He has even created the oshadis or the herbs, medicines. Okay, so we are recognizing and reminding ourselves that all this creation is the Lord's, and He has created all the wealth that we need to, and He has given the medicines also whenever we are diseased. So the mantra is salutation to the one who has made this universe and sustains it, and one who enriches this universe, and the Lord of all herbs and vegetation. Okay. So when we look at the world outside and all the trees and when earth we see, we should remember that it's the Rudra or the Lord who has made it all available. And to that Lord we salute. So we'll just look at a few of Swami's discourse excerpts. See, we talked about medicines, and what is the medicines so Swami is talking about? This is taken from Prashnottara Vahini, as you can see, chapter 12. Because God is creating medicines in it's not only medicines related to the trees and creation, but there are other types of medication also God provides. So what are these? We will see. Swami in this Prashnottara Vahini, he asks this question and he provides the answer also. The question is, if that is so, why all this bother about caste and stages of life and the rules and regulations binding them? So the question is, why are these castes there, the varnas? Actually, varna should be the right meaning, but in English, there's no equivalent word. So the word caste is used. Caste and stages of life, ashrama, varna, ashrama. So that's what Swami is referring to. Because of life and the rules and regulations binding them. So each varnashrama has certain rules. Okay, many of these are actually described by Swami. Okay, if anyone wants, you can go and read the Prashnottara Vahini. So the answer is, They are required until you become free from attachment. Until then, for the sake of that, the regulations, limits, and the rules have to be obeyed to the very letter. The medicine has to be taken as long as the illness persists. So even the medicine is not only what God has provided in the trees, that is all for the physical ailments. But for the mental ailments, these are the medicines. Swami says the rules, the regulations, and the limits which the Varna and Ashrama provide, those are medicines, and one has to take the medicine as long as the illness persists. Each type of illness has a special medicine for its cure, doesn't it? And a different course of diet and a special regimen, and that is required. Okay. After one has gotten rid of the illness, one can partake of a feast with the rest. Without accepting this, if the well and the ill both demand the same feast, it will lead to calamitous consequences. So Swami is saying, if there's a feast, the people who are ailing and the people who are well, both should not demand the same feast because they may not be suitable for them. So according to each person's disease, God has created certain medicines. Then Swami says, the cause and the stages of life are the medicine prescribed for those who suffer from the ills of worldliness and worldly attachment. So the Varna and Ashramas have been prescribed as medicine for all those who are suffering from worldliness and ills. Okay. Attachment, raga, is the illness, roga. So attachment is, Swami says, is the real disease. And it can disappear only by a strictly observed regimen. Okay. Unless you get well, you cannot be liberated. This is the true meaning of Vedanta. The one who knows this, whatever the stage of life, attains liberation. So Swami says, what has been prescribed in this world as regulations and discipline are another way of treating the ailment of attachment. Okay. So we'll go to the next one. Okay, because vriksha, we talked about, parivaskrita. Okay. So look at another excerpt from Swami's discourse. In the heart of every individual, there's a kalpa vriksha, or the tree that gives you all that you want. Around this kalpa vriksha, there's a growth of weeds. And by your efforts, if you can remove all these weeds, then the kalpa vriksha or the sacred tree will become evident. The texts which traditionally belong to Indians are all intended to teach the inner meanings of all the sacred sayings, to put the outside world in its proper perspective, and to make men realize their own individuality. God is not only capable of curing the ordinarily understood external diseases, but he also undertakes a setting right of all bad qualities that enter into the inner life of an individual. We generally make an attempt to cure various diseases by externally applying medicines. There are other kinds of diseases to cure, which we take medicines internally. There are still other kinds of diseases which require not only external application of medicine, but also its internal administration. Today, you all have joined a hospital that is connected with the divine. For all your diseases, there is a necessity of not only applying medicines externally, but also of taking some medicines internally. Although as the equivalent of external application of medicines, we undergo certain practices and certain sadhanas, we also have to realize the inner meaning of such sadhanas and such practices. It's the realization of the inner meaning of such practices that constitutes the medicine that you take internally. The reason I have extracted this is because If we know that he is the one who is Oshadinam Pataye Namaha, we need to know what the medicines are. And just saying, oh, you are the Lord of all medicines, we also should know what the medicines are so that we should take the medicine. The doctor can prescribe the medicine, but if we do not take, then it's of no use. So just saying the Lord, oh, you are the Lord of all medicine, does not help. That has to be internalized and practiced by taking the medicine which the Lord has prescribed. So I thought I will share this. Okay. Oshadinam Pataye Namaha. We'll go to the next mantra. Nama Uchair Ghoshaya Kandayate Pattinam Pataye Namaha. Nama Uchair Ghoshaya Kandayate Pattinam Pataye Namaha. Nama Uchair Ghoshaya Kandayate Pattinam Pataye Namaha. Uchair Gho. This is the fourth letter in the Ka Varga. I don't think we come across this letter that often, but it's the fourth one in the Ka Varga, so it's Gha, Gha, okay, with aspiration you have to say, and so it's Gho, Sh. Again, Sh is the cerebral one, so which has to be, tongue has to be raised, okay. Chair Gho, Sha, Kran, okay. Ghoshaya Kandayate. Pattinam Pataye Namaha. So Namaha is salutation, we look at meaning. Namaha is salutation. Chair Ghoshaya. Okay. So again it's the fourth vibhakti of the word Uchair Ghoshaha. Okay. So the Uchair Ghoshaya is the fourth vibhakti of Uchair Ghoshaha. Okay. So the meaning is one who roars. Ghoshaha. Ghosha means in Tamil also, I think people use Ghosha Malupuradu, means, big sound. Okay. Ghosha, loudly, Uchchair. Again, I think in Tamil also, Uchchastayila means it's very high pitched sound or loud. Okay. Uchchair Ghosha means, so the Lord apparently raises a big noise to remind us. So he has to wake us up. He has to warn us. That kind of meaning is Uchchair Ghosha. So the Lord is one who reminds us loudly. Okay, that's one meaning. There's another meaning which says people loudly call out to him. So one who has to be called out loudly. Also, you can say Uchchair Ghosha. Okay. And so how does he proclaim the world also? Vedas are also proclaimed by him as Uchchair Ghosha. They actually take us higher. Okay, so the one who has given us the Vedas, one to whom we have to call out loudly, who will respond to whenever we call him loudly. All that also means Uchchair Ghosha. There are multiple meanings. The commentators have described in many different ways. Okay, but I have given one meaning, Uchchair Ghosha, one who roars loudly. Because Rudra also, one who is, I think Rudram, one of the meanings, even the sound itself was produced. That's how the world was created. So that also can be called Uchchair Ghosha. Okay. Akrandayate is, so there is a sandhi here. Uchchair Ghoshaya Akrandayate. Okay. So Akrandayate is the fourth vibhakti of, okay, the word Akrandayan. Okay. So to Akrandayan. So I have taken the meaning, one who Akandi means who can be called out for protection. Okay, Akrandayate. But there are multiple meanings even, but I thought this is good enough. Okay. Akrandiyati can also be one who goes through, in a jungle. For example, we are caught in a jungle. So you are lost. Okay. So you call out to him for protection. So such a person is Akrandiya. Okay. Itself means, when you are in trouble, you call. Okay. Kandayate. So not only we call out for, he comes and protects us. Okay. When we call out to him, he will respond. That's the meaning. Okay. Akrandayan. Next word is Pattinam. Pattinam is the sixth vibhakti. So it's of Pattayah. Of Pattayah. Pattayah comes from the word that is plural. Patti is the singular form. Okay, Patti, Pattayah. Patti is one, Patti. Pattayah is many Pattis. Okay, Pattayah. Of those, all those Pattis, Patti, the Lord. So what is this Patti? Patti is one the foot soldiers, people, infantry, you can say. That is one meaning. People who are foot soldiers are Patti. It also means, apparently Patti means, a small troop, you can say, armed troop, which consists of one chariot, one elephant, 3 horses, and 5 foot soldiers. So it's a small army platoon, you can say. I don't know whatever the common word is in English. It's a small unit of the war machinery, you can say. So he commands. So not only, so the meaning is, in the jungle of life, you can be lost, but the Lord is ever ready to, call out loudly and save you or give you directions. When you call out to him, he will be there to help. Not only that, he has an army with which he can come and help. So he helps through many foot soldiers and all sorts of armed divisions. He can help when we are lost in this wild world of creation. So the meaning in summary is salutation to the one who roars loudly, one who can be called out for protection, and the Lord of foot soldiers. That's the way I have, because he's on the ground. Okay, because we are also walking, so we need foot soldiers who can come and help. Or so God will come down and he will, with the army which he has, he will help. To that Lord we bow down. Nama Uchchair Ghoshaya Kandayate Pattinam Pataye Namaha. We look at a few excerpts from Swami's discourses. So let's read out. This is from Dhyana Vahini. Okay. Everyone has the right to achieve this highest degree of success. So in meditation, I do not say this in just a quiet tone. I declare this loud enough for all quarters to hear. Knowing this, meditate and advance. Do meditation and progress. Realize the Atma. Uchchair Ghoshaya. How loudly the Lord proclaims is, this is what he will proclaim. So that is, all of us should hear that we should meditate and advance and progress and realize the Atma. So this is one of his loud declarations. So I thought I will just share. The next one is from a discourse Swami delivered in 1960. Similarly, the mind of man is churned by the force of good and evil every day, and there emanates from the same mind both good and bad. The bad comes because the mind flows towards sensory pleasures and is lost in the swarms of greed and envy, of lust and pride. When the lion awakes from the sleeps and roars, all the tiny animals that held sway till then take to their heels. So too, When you awake and repeat the Om Pranava mantra, all the paltry animal instincts that strutted about in the darkness will flee. In your own heart, you have the entity that is beyond time and space. And if you go on contacting it by the pranava or by any other symbol, the wild thoughts and impulses will not dare to approach you. So the first one is which God is telling, and now what's Akandaya? So Swami is telling how we can reach out to the Lord and He will help us. Okay, how do we connect? That we have to loudly, like the lion which roars, we have to chant the Om, Swami says, and through which you connect to the Lord and He will take care of it. Okay, and that call out to the Lord itself will disperse all the negative in us. So the need for us to call loudly to the Lord for protection, I thought it's nice. So another discourse: when a man has fallen into a well and is unable to get out, he does not mutter to himself. He shouts loud to get men to save him. What do you do to drive away birds and sitting on a branch? You clap your hands loudly. Similarly, sing the names Govinda, Gopal and Narayana aloud and clap hands with vigor so that the birds of evil passion, kama, desire, krodha, anger, lobha, greed, infesting your mind shall fly away. So in this discourse, Swami is talking about the singing of the name of the Lord loudly and the benefit of it. So another discourse, one more I have taken. An aspirant after spiritual realization went off into a jungle and was plodding across the infested region through the thick undergrowth when he heard the angry roar of a lion. He climbed a tree to escape from the beast, but the lion saw him among the branches and roamed round and round the trunk in terrific rage. On the tree, he was attacked by a bear, and so he slid down the roots that descended from one of the branches of the banyan tree. Luckily, there were two roots hanging from the branch, so that he could hang on in mid-air, clinging to them, one in each hand. Just then he saw the two rats, one white, other black, which were gnawing at the base of the roots, endangering his life with every bite. While this perilous, in this perilous state, a honeycomb which was full of sweet nectar situated on one of the top branches leaked a few drops, which fell his way. So the unfortunate man put out his tongue to catch a drop so that he may taste the delicious honey. But no drop reached his tongue. In despair and terror, he called on his Guru, "Oh Guruji, come and save me." The Guru, who was passing by, heard his appeal. He sped to the rescue. He brought bow and arrows and slew the lion and bear, frightened off the rats, and saved the disciple from the fear of death. Then he led the man to his own ashram and taught him the path of liberation. So I found this very appropriate for the Rudram, because he comes with bows and arrows. Why does he have bows and arrows? He is there to punish and slay the lion, the bear, and the rats, and all that was creating fear and in the devotee or the disciple. Okay, and what does the disciple? He has to yell and scream for the Lord to come and help, and he will come right away, and he will finish off the problem and take the person with him into his ashram and teach the path of liberation. So that Guru is capable of fighting with bows and arrows is also capable of teaching and help us be liberated. And this the description of this man is, in this world of samsara, how, on one side, the physically, we are chased out by the things around us. We go mentally peace inside. The bear also is troubling. We are hanging on to two, good and bad, and that's being ignored away by the rats. But in all this travail and trouble and danger, there is some drop of honey, we want to taste that. That is the nature, the state of, and we are unable to taste whatever we want to taste. This is existence. And from this existence and despair, when we despair and call out to the Lord, He comes and helps. Uchair Gosha Akrandayare Pattinam Patiyanam. So I thought it was nice. So I thought, so we will go to the next mantra, the final mantra, Yajil mantra in second Anvaka of Rudram. Namah Kritsna Vitaya Dhavate Sattvanam Pataye Namah. Namah Kritsna Vitaya Dhavate Sattvanam Pataye Namah. Namah Kritsna Vitaya Dhavate Sattvanam Pataye Namah. Just to point out a few pronunciation, attention for your pronunciation. This one is Kritsna, Kritsna. Okay, Kritsna. There are three consonants which are compounded to make that one compound consonant. Kritsna, 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 Vidaya. Then Dhavate. Dha is the fourth letter in the Thavarga. So it has to be aspirated. Mahaprana. Dhavate. Sattvanam. Here, if you notice, there are two it, and va. Okay. Sattva. Sattvanam Patayana. So we will look at the meanings. Namaha. Krits. Namaha is salutation. Kritsna Vitaya. Okay. Kritsna Vitaya is the fourth vibhakti again. To Kritsna Vitaha. Salutation to Kritsna Vitaha. So Nama Kritsna Vitaya. Kritsna Vita means one who completely covers, protects the world. Okay. Kritsna means complete. Okay. Kritsna means complete or the world. Both meanings can be said. Complete means the world is complete. Okay. Kritsna. Entire. That's another meaning. You can say Kritsna. Vitaha means one who protects or who covers. I think we have looked at the word Yagnopavitaya. I don't know whether you remember. Yagnopavitaya means God is one who wears a sacred thread. It's something which we have said. Vita is actually that which covers. Yagnopavita, the sacred thread the Brahmins wear. The Vita is supposed to be a cover, a protection. Okay. So Krishna Vita means the God actually completely covers and protects the world. Okay. He covers everything in this world. So Vita means a cloth or cover. So the thread is considered a cover. Okay, that's the reason. So Krishna Vita means one who completely covers and protects the world. Okay. So he has provided everything. Okay, we looked at that. Vari Vaskritaya Aushadhi Nampati. And now he also protects us from externally. Next one is Dhavate. Dhavate means to dhavan. To dhavan. That's the fourth vibhakti is Dhavate. To dhavan. Namaha Dhavate. Okay, Dhavate Namaha. The way you can say. So Dhavate is fourth vibhakti of Dhavan. So the Dhavan, the meaning means to run. One of the meaning, the most common meaning is to run. Okay, one who runs. Dhavan. Dhavati means one, something which is running. He is running or it is running. Dhavati. It also has a meaning cleansing. It cleanses also. Both the meaning are possible for Dhavati. So Dhavan means one who cleanses and one who runs. Okay, you can see one who runs and cleans. Okay, if something is dirty or something, the Lord rushes and cleans. So Dhavan. So everything in this world, wherever there is dirt or problem, God is there to rushes there and cleans it. So that to that Dhava salutation. The next word is Sattvanam. So here it's sixth vibhakti. As you can see in every mantra, the last part is generally of the Lord of something, the Lord of something. Okay. So the Lord of something is called Sarveshwaratva. Means he's the Lord of everything. So you can see in different ways his patitvam or the lordship is described in the mantra. Okay, in the second anuvaka. Sattvanah, Sattvanah. Okay, Sattvanam means of Sattvanah. So that's plural actually. Sattvanah is plural. So who's plural means? What the meaning of Sattvana is? Those who are pure or sattvic. Sattva is the quality of purity. And so he is the Lord of all that is pure. So he looks after them and he's the best of them. All that can have meaning. Sattvanam Pataye Namaha. So the last mantra in the second anvaka. So I have simply given the meaning, a summary. Salutations to the Rudra, who completely covers and protects the world. One who runs to his devotees, cleanses them. One who is the Lord of the pure and sattvic ones. Okay, so that is how the final mantra ends in the second anvaka. Salutations to Rudra, who completely covers and protects the world. One who runs to his devotees, cleanses them. One who is the Lord of the pure and sattvic ones. We will look at a few discourse excerpts from Swami. God is ever with you everywhere. Vasudeva Sarvamidam. All this is God. Society is the school where this lesson is taught to those who earnestly seek. The sages of this land resorted to the hermitages in the forest and mixed with the steadfast seekers there in, though I have accepted, I think there is the original discourse available online also, there are some spelling mistakes, in scholastic discussion and disciplinary practices. They drew inspiration and instruction from each other and learned the truth. Ishavasyam idam jagat. Ishavasyam idam jagat. This is from the Ishopanishad. Vasyam, Isha Vasyam. Vasyam means one meaning is, he is permeating everything. It also means he covers. Okay. Isha Vasyam idam sarv. Idam jagat means all this. Idam means this. Jagat means this universe. Isha Vasyam, the Lord covers, envelops. Okay. So the meaning is given as the universe is enveloped in God. That God is the string on which the worlds are strung. Kritsna Vita, Vita is a thread we looked at, Kritsna is also enveloping. So that the Vita word, Swami has given two meanings. One is string and one who covers. So because of that, I picked this. So God actually covers everything and it strings everything also. So that is Vita. So Namak Kritsna Vitaya Dhavati. So but it sort of nicely explains the meaning of Krishna Vita. So the next one is from a discourse in 1963. Bhishma was in tears on the bed of arrows. When he was about to pass away, Arjuna asked him why, and he replied, I am shedding tears because the miseries undergone by the Pandavas passed through my mind. Then he said, this is done in order to teach the Kali Yuga, the era we are now in, a lesson: never seek power, position, or pelf, but submit to the will of God in a completely resigned way, so that you may be ever happy and unmoved. The Lord rushes toward the devotee faster than the devotee rushes toward him. If you take one step toward him, he takes 100 steps towards you. He will be more than a mother or father. He will foster you from within you, just as he has saved and fostered so many saints who have placed faith in him. For the word dhavate, the Lord rushes, Lord runs. The best example are the Pandavas. Whenever they called out to the Lord, he rushed towards them. So I thought it will be very nice to understand the meaning of dhavate. Namakritsna vitaya dhavate. Okay, so dhavate, he runs, and he also cleanses. Through that process, what is left is sattva. Okay. So we'll come to sattvic quality. Coming to the sattvic quality, it should be noted that its main characteristic is a perennial state of peace. Other traits related to sattva are forbearance, compassion, truth, and similar virtues. The sattvic quality gives no room for vices like lust, anger, greed, and envy. The sattvic person converts any action of anger into an act of love. If one cannot effect such a change, all his austerities are useless. So Swami is giving us a description of what is sattvic quality, and so that we ourselves can evaluate for ourselves the level of sattva guna which is present in us. Because Swami says in everyone all three gunas are present. But we should also have sattva quality, and the more and more we have, the better it is. So that's why Sattvanam Pataye Namaha. So people who do this, their Lord is Rudra. And we'll look at another excerpt. More than the Guru, the Guri, goal, is essential for attaining the divine. Tamil also word Guri is there. Kuri we say, okay. The goal. More than the Guru, the Guri is essential for attaining the divine. The very pursuit of the goal will evoke the Sattva Guna quality of serenity and weaken the hold of the inferior Rajas and Tamas qualities of passion and inertia in your composition. Dhanavatvam or fiendishness is caused by Tamas. Manavatvam, human nature, is stabilized by Rajas, but Sattva alone can guarantee the elevation into divinity. Sattva Guna fertilizes the upward tendencies of man. It cleanses the mind, removing the weeds of evil. Satya is the very basis of Sattva Guna. Satya and Satkarma, truth in word, deed, and thought, are acts which are beneficial to others. Matam, religion, wherever it is practiced by whomsoever established, lays down the rules and regulations by which the Sattva Guna can be fostered, and the impact of the two other gunas, human qualities, lessened. Therefore, it is very necessary that the adherents of religion spread the knowledge of these rules, both by precept and example. It's a long excerpt. So it's a discourse Swami gave in 1964. Christians and Muslims carry on this work with great enthusiasm, but the followers of Sanatana Dharma have not got the faith in its excellence, which alone can induce them to talk about it to others and to make others listen to their talk. I find many are ashamed to accept the principles of Sanatana Dharma, eternal religion, like Varnashrama, Vigraha Aradhana, that is, division of castes, and idol worship, etc. While Western aspirants find the ancient texts of Sanatana Dharma valuable source of inspiration, and they adore Bharat as beacon in the darkness, the children of Bharat admire the tawdry victories in the field of material research which other countries have won. The Vedas and the Shastras are the two eyes of Bharata Mata. By neglecting both, her vision is dimmed and damaged. Her vision can regain its clarity and sharpness only when the Vedas and Shastras enter into the daily life of her children. Then the children will have the faith in the Supreme and in the destiny of ultimate merger with it. This will make them true devotees, for they will then be devoted to their true goal. So I found this nice because Swami is telling about Sattva Guna and how Sattva Guna can be established. If you look at the previous one, Swami is talking about Sattva, okay? Sattva Guna. And how do we cultivate Sattva Guna? Swami says, follow the rules and regulations established by the Vedas and the Shastras. Actually, even if you look at the first one, I had some of the exit Uchay Goshaya Krandayate. Partina, no, the first one, if you look at, say, Namo Bhuvantaya Varivas Kritai Aushadinam. So here also I had looked at, Swami says, for the illness, Swami says, Varnashrama, caste and caste and stages of life, Varnashrama. So the same point is also, Swami says, that has to be practiced until the illness is cured. And now in this excerpt which I have shared with you, he is repeating that. Okay, so, no, sorry. So here he says Varnashrama and Vigraha Aradhana, worship of idols, idol worship, Vigraha Aradhana. So, and Swami says some of these are prescribed by the Vedas and Shastras so that they will help us cultivate Sattva Guna. Same thing Swami has already said, they are the medicines. So I thought it's nice. So what are the medicines and what should we practice to cultivate sattvic qualities? So that as second Anuvaka, the last mantra says, Sattvanam Pataye Namaha. Then the Lord can be claimed as our own Lord. Okay, so I thought they were very appropriate the way I understood the meaning of these mantras. So I thought I would share. We will go to the Dhyana Shloka. So we have completed the second Anuvaka. And so the entire Anuvaka is considered one mantra by most commentators and scholars. So for this, the entire Anuvaka, there's one Dhyana Shloka. So we will look at the Dhyana Shloka. Muktalankrita Sarvanga Mindu Gangadharam Haram Dhyayet Kalpa Taror Mule Samasinam Sahomaya. Muktalankrita Sarvanga Mindu Gangadharam Haram Dhyayet kalpa taror mule samasinam sahomaya. Muktalankrita sarvanga mindu gangadharam haram. Dhyayet kalpa taror mule samasinam sahomaya. So this is the dhyana shloka, which sort of describes all the mantras which we looked at in the second anuvaka. We'll go over the meaning. One should meditate. Dhyayet. Here, see dhyayet. Dhyayet kalpa taror mule. Okay, so dhyayet. Okay, one should meditate on hara. So word haram you can see here, haram. So we should meditate on hara. Hara is one who destroys, you can say, or one who also attracts. Okay, that's Hara, Shiva's name. Wearing pearls. Okay, I think I should put it like this. Sorry. So he is wearing pearls apparently, Shiva. Mukta. Mukta means Muttu in Tamil, you know. Muttu is Mukta. Mukta means they are pearls. Alankrita. Mukta Alankrita is Mukta Alankrita. Okay. Alankrita means who has been decorated also, you can say. I have put the word wearing pearls. Maybe I should put on Hara. You know, it's very difficult to translate in English. So I leave it as is. Decorating pearls on all limbs. So you can put that way, but you know, it sounds funny. So basically the pearls are decorating all his limbs. Mukta Alankrita Sarvangam. Sarva Angam means all limbs. Okay. Apparently Shiva's all the limbs are decorated with pearls. Okay. Mukta Alankrita Sarvangam. Okay, Sarvangam. And E here it becomes the, you know, me is Sarvangam Indu. Okay. Sarvangam. Indu. Indu means moon. Crescent moon is Indu. Okay. Moon. And Ganga on the head. Ganga Dharam. So Indu and Ganga are worn by him or carried by him, supported, you can, whichever way you want to put. Gangadharam. So who has Ganga and crescent on the moon. Okay. Samasinam. Here you have, you know, Samasinam means, Asina means one who is sitting, seated. Samasina means who is seated, very calmly settled. Okay, Samasinam. Seated at the foot of the Kalpa tree. Here you can see Kalpa Taror Mule. Okay. Kalpa Taror Mule. Kalpa Taroho Mule. There are three words I have split so that you can understand. This Kalpa means Kalpa Vriksha. You know, in one of the quotes we have seen Kalpa Vriksha, you know, the Lord says, the Kalpa Vriksha is in our heart, okay, which gives all what we want. Kalpa Taroho. Taru means tree. Taroho means of, okay, tree, of the tree. Okay, Taroho. Mule, the base. Mule here we can take base, okay, foot of the Kalpa tree. So the Lord Shiva is, there's a tree spanning, you know, at the bottom. He's seated. Okay. How is he seated? Along with Umadevi. Sahomaya. Saha Umaya. Umaya Saha. You know, there are many ways you can put it in Sanskrit. You know, the order doesn't matter. Saha means with Umaya. Umadevi. Okay. Actually, accompanied by Uma. That's the way, actually, the right way to say in Sanskrit. Because Umaya means by Uma, Saha, who is accompanied. Okay. So the Lord Shiva is seated at the foot of the Kalpavriksha. Okay, wearing pearls on all limbs, and Indu and Ganga are on his crescent, Gangadhara. And so to that Lord, we bow down and pray. So that's the way the rishis saw the Lord. Okay, so now let's look at the meaning a little more with Swami's discourses. So this is an excerpt from 17 June 1961. In 1961, Swami had gone to Badrinath, and Swami gave a discourse there. So this is a discourse excerpt from Badri, where Swami gave the discourse. Okay. So let's see what Swami said. Carry back with you the silence of these hills, the cool comfort of the Alaknanda river, the warm affection of the hot springs that gurgle from the earth here, the spirit of sacrifice that brought sages and saints to this spot. Become better spiritual aspirants on your return. Carry on that other pilgrimage toward the goal more resolutely thereafter. Like the river Ganga rushing toward the sea from where its waters are derived, the individual soul, Jivi, must hurry towards Brahman, Supreme Spirit, from which it has separated. The Ganga does not allow any obstacle to stop its course. The Ganga does not allow any obstacle to stop its course. You too should proceed as this Alaknanda proceeds, laughing, rolling, tripping gladly over rock and boulder towards the goal. I would ask the residents of this place, who are mostly merchants, shopkeepers, and priests, to take from the stream of pilgrims that comes here every day a part of their faith in Badri Narayana. So I thought, when, there many times we think, Shiva has Ganga, moon. I think moon, many of you know the meaning as, mind and things like that. But I thought I will use this opportunity to look at Ganga. How Ganga rushes. Okay, Thavate, Akkandayate, things like that. So Lord is someone to whom we have to rush. And how does Ganga rush? Because it's a pilgrimage itself. Okay. So such a Ganga, when we become the Ganga which are rushing towards the Lord will carry us. Gangadhara means one who supports, one who carries. And so we should become like the Ganga, that's Swami's explanation. And how in Badri we see the Lord, how Alaknanda rushes through that sacred spot towards the sea. Same way our life also should become a Ganga. So I thought it's nice that because Sattvanam, because Ganga is sacred. Okay, so another discourse. Vishnu is that aspect of Trinity that is concerned with sustaining, fostering, stabilizing, and strengthening. If we looked at Badrinath, because it's Badrinarayana, so Ganga, see, there's a belief that Ganga originated from the toes of Vishnu. Ganga originated, that's also told. So what is toes? The Lord is the world, Vishnu. And from there, from the Kailash, supposed to have originated. So that's considered his feet. Vishnu is the aspect of Trinity that is concerned with sustaining, fostering, stabilizing, strengthening. So Vishnu has to incarnate often in order to save and salvage the world. He has to re-establish rhythm, right or righteousness, morality, rhythm, so that the world may sail on an even keel and reach the harbor of liberation. so that the world may be transformed into a Prashanti Nilayam. India has the Himalayas as the shield, as her armor. Namak Kritsna Vita. Kritsna Vita means one who covers, is an armor of protection, as her crown. Okay. The range is the sign of majesty, of calm, of cool exhilaration, the call to the heights which man must climb. Uchair Gosha. Okay. The call. Okay. From the Lord. From the Himalayas have flowed over the land the Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati, the trinity of spiritual search, Ganga, mental purification, Yamuna, and intellectual clarity, Saraswati. The Ganga never runs dry. It is pure, full, capable of destroying all the bacteria that bring disease. Indian culture will be alive and active so long as the Ganga flows over the land. It can never run dry. It will slake the thirst of generations. It will confer the boon of immortality on those who crave for it. So all that is symbolized by the word Gangadhara. So whatever we have read, the rushing, the purity, Sattvanam Pataye, Oshadi, the medicines, all that, so that we are purified. All that is symbolized by Ganga. That is how when the rishis heard all these mantras, they visualize the Lord as one who wears Ganga. So I thought it was very potent, so I will share. I will read another excerpt from Swami's discourse. One of the rites in the marriage ceremony in India is the Talambralu, the act of pouring rice on the head of the bridegroom by the bride. Swami is talking in, especially in Telugu marriages, the bride and groom pour rice over each other. But even in other, I don't know, Sri Lankan Tamil, many of you are here, at the end of the wedding, rice is sort of sprinkled on the head of the bride and the groom. Okay. Swami is explaining some of the meanings, so we'll look at. Since Janaka, the father of Sita, was immensely rich, he arranged for the pouring of pearls instead of rice. Okay. Sita held a palm full of pearls in her hand over Rama's head. The white pearls in the palms of Sita shone with reddish splendor as her palms were of the reddish hue. When she poured the pearls on the white turban Rama wore for the occasion, the pearls shone with the white hue of the turban. The pearls rolling down the body of Sri Rama assumed a dark color, reflecting the bluish color of Sri Rama. The pearls shining with reddish hue in the hands of Sita are symbolic of the Rajoguna, conveying the message that one is Rajasic nature in the company of Prakriti, which is world. The pearls shining with whitish splendor are symbolic of the Sattva Guna, indicating the fact that one acquires the Sattvic nature in the company of God. The nature of persons who belong neither to Prakriti nor God will be tamasic, persons like the color of the pearls that rolled down from Rama's head. Pearls, people of divine orientation, shine with sattvic serenity and purity. People with a worldly outlook display rajasic quality, while those who are neither worldly nor godly are tamasic. So this is a discourse from 25th May 1992. So I thought, we Mukta Lankrita Sarvangam, that is the meaning of Dhyana Shloka. So the pearls take on different colors because of the company keeps. So you can say we are also like the pearl. which takes on different colors. Sita held it in her hand. Hand is action, Rajasic action. She is also Prakriti. So that is red in color, Rajasic. When the turban, the top of Sri Rama's white became white. So we should think of the Lord, and then we are Sattvic. Everything else is Tamasic, as Swami has described. So that's a Muktalankrita Sarvangam. In all his limbs, there is pearl. Okay, so I found the poetic beauty of this excerpt nicely describing the Dhyana Shloka, so I picked it. Well, one more excerpt. To secure pearls, one has to go far out into the sea and dive deep. Simply wading in the shallows and declaring that the pearl story is a myth is a sign of foolishness. So too the elders here wondered so long at all stories of my miracle powers and could not make use of the splendid chances that lay at their very doors. They saw only the light, but did not feel the warmth. That itself proves that though they were physically so near, they were very distant for all practical purposes. They could see the splendor, the glory, the effulgence, but they did not come near and share the warmth of my heart. Entangled in the false and the fleeting, the men lose the golden chance of grasping the true and the lasting. They refuse to recognize the fruits that grow on the branches of the tree in their own garden. They pluck it before it becomes ripe and go about decrying its sour. Such is the fate of man. He has always ignored God and pursued the paltry joys of pride and greed. As a matter of fact, Puttaparthi is a name revered and remembered with gratitude by millions today, and it will be treasured in history as an immortal name. This is a discourse Swami gave in 1990. So the Muktalankrita Sarvangam. So again, I took the word pearl. And so in this discourse, Swami says the pearl has to be obtained by diving deep into the sea. It won't just come by standing at the shallow shores. You have to dive deep and bring the pearl up. If anyone says there's no pearl, it is their problem. And so even Swami's own teachings, we have to dive deep and unearth. We are chanting Rudram, we have to dive deep into every word and find the pearl in that word, which is what we are attempting to do. So that mukta, so every part of his world is filled with those such pearls. So this Rudram also, every single name is a pearl. And so I thought we have to dive deep and get it. That's what the Rishi saw. The Lord's every limb as pearl, filled with pearls. And the more we dive deep and find the pearl, our life is worthwhile. And Swami, in this context, he's talking about Prashanta Nilayam. He's talking about Puttaparthi, where the Lord has taken worth and done. He says it's charged with everything. People have to dive deep. They can say all sorts of things and go away, but you have to dive deep. So he's telling the people there, the villagers, and people who are living there also. And same the thing Swami told in Badrinarayana, he's telling the shopkeepers, look here, the devotees, stream of devotees are coming in such devotion. You, though who are living here, you are unable to benefit, take some bhakti from them. So that is the pearl. So you can imagine how after reading all these three mantras, this second Anvaka mantras, the rishis saw that need for diving for the pearl, the Ganges, all this decorating the Lord with Uma. Prakriti is Uma, like Rama and Sita Swami is saying, Prakriti and Parameshwara. So in the world we have to see, so what actually this Rudram does is, in this world, everything is seen as divine. Prakriti, creation. We see Parameshwara in the Prakriti. So he's present in everything. So that is how Rudram proceeds. So that's what I have prepared so far for today. It's about 10:13. So we have completed second Anuvaka. I will stop here. Sai Ram. If there are questions, I will answer else. Yes, Brother Dasan.
So, Sairam, brother, and thank you for your time and everything. And the divine discourse and Swami's discourse you are adding to this one is like a pendant for the chain. So I would like to ask you your opinion about this one. That you talk about the illness the Swami was talking about. For our body illness, when the doctor says take this medicine morning, lunchtime, nighttime, and before meal, after meal, and people are following that one. But the samsara illness, Swami said many times, and people are listening, and most of us not taking that medicine. What is the reason for your opinion? Thank you, Brother Sairam.
So I think, I didn't, there was another excerpt which I didn't bring, brother. Swami talks about satsangatve nisangatvam, nisangatve nirmohatve. How do we cultivate sattva guna? Swami has gone on to describe. There was one more discourse, and then I thought this Radha and Rudram will become Swami's excerpt study, so I didn't bring it. See, Swami gives few things. He says everything starts with food. Food which we eat through the mouth and the food which we consume through our ears and eyes. That Swami is saying it's very, very important. He's also talking about company, satsangatve, nisangatvam, company which we keep, the people we associate, and the activities in which we associate. These two are the most important to cultivate sattva guna. And Swami says the earlier we cultivate them, the better. Swami says childhood is the best time to cultivate it. And so that's so if we do not follow those, then sattva guna is very difficult to cultivate, brothers. So that's a root cause of generally we get distracted by these things. Sairam, that's all I can share.
Sairam, thank you.
Sairam. Yes, Kalyani, you have a question.
Sairam, uncle. I just have two quick questions. You were talking about Kritsna. And you said the Vita means
Vita.
cover.
Vita is cover, yes.
Cover or protection. And you also said last time when we talked about Upaviti, which is
Upavita.
the sacred
Upavita. Yagnopavitine means one who wears Upavita. Upavita is the sacred thread. Generally that's the way understood. So that is basically a cover, protection.
So the Viti means the same thing, cover or protection.
See, Vita is the thread. Viti means one who wears it, Vitin.
Oh, okay.
One who wears the Vita is Vitin, Yagnopavithin.
So the word Viti itself also means thread?
No, Vita is thread, Vitin is one who wears it.
One who wears it, okay. So when you say the word together, Upaviti, that means
one who wears the thread, sacred thread.
Sacred thread. And the Upa part means near, right?
Yes. The protection of the nearness.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. So the Sishya usually goes to Guru, and the Guru basically, this is a Brahmana tradition or any Gurukula tradition. You go to a Guru to study. So the first thing he gives you is he gives you the Upavitam and he gives you the Upadesham in that year. Okay. So that the Lord also takes a vow to protect you. So the Guru gives him the Upavita as his vouching his protection on the disciple. Okay. And he gives the Upadesha. So you have to tie the That's also a bond between the Guru and the Shishya. So in many things in, say, Indian tradition, everywhere we tie threads. You go to a temple and a priest ties a thread. Actually, the priest is saying, I will protect you through everything. Or God will protect you through everything. Even if you take other traditions, non-butcherady, like that, there are a few. Everywhere thread is worn. A husband wears a thread, sacred, thread of against around the neck of a wife, saying, I will protect you. So it's a vow and it's also protection. So the same way, if the disciple remains sincere in his, the Guru also will protect. So it is a symbolic thing, Upavita. Upavita is a sacred thread. Upaviti is whoever wears that is Upaviti.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. And the other question was, you said Vari Vaskrita. So Vasu means wealth, is that right?
Vastu means any item, any object.
Okay.
So everything which is created is Vastu, generally we say. Vari Vas means rich one.
Oh, so the Vari means rich?
Vari Vas, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Uncle.
Okay, sir. Okay, so if there are no other questions, I think we'll end it today. And we'll start the third Anuvaka from the next class. Thank you very much, and Sai Ram. We'll close with Samastaloka. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sai Ram.